Hey there, lovely people and guitar maniacs all over the world. It's me, your guy Van Daven, and today I can finally present you my UAFX Lion Ruby pedalboard. It took a while until all the parts arrived, and I'm so super thankful. Aclam pedalboards from Spain are the best pedalboards, period. Right? They're reasonably priced, and it's so easy to reconfigure them because, like, the base of this pedalboard is the first Aclam pedalboard I've ever bought, which was like almost 3/4 of a year ago. It's just awesome to be able to say, okay, I'm going to put that away and nothing's sticky and there's room for everything, and I'm super glad about it. So in case you haven't, just pay them a visit. And are really important, don't get me wrong, they didn't pay me anything for that. I paid like the normal prices they're asking, and well, just the sales rep from Aclam is just super great because he helped me a lot, right? And he was very patient to listen to my ideas and what I would like to do with that stuff because it's non-standard. I can just recommend that company. So in any case, I had configured that pedalboard before, but I needed to have that upper to rise the back row of pedals so I don't step on the ES5 that I've shown you in one of the earlier videos. Have a look at my build and then have a look at the pedalboard. I'm trying my best to explain it, right? It's a bit more complicated, I guess, and it offers so much more. So I'm tremendously happy today because my Aclam parts came. So first, let's go ahead and take some stuff apart. That's exactly the stuff you need to keep your pedalboard tidy, right? You can easily clamp a cable in there and it keeps everything in place. Underneath the board I have my Boss wireless, which is going directly into here or here, right? It's going in directly into the polytune. From the polytune the signal goes into the drop, from the drop into the MXR, from the MXR into the switching system. So here we are, that is my UAFX pedalboard, and this is how it sounds. I think it sounds amazing, so let's get right into the signal flow. Basically, underneath the unit, there's a Boss WL 50 receiver. I'm plugged straight into that one now with the line cable. Then underneath the board, the cable continues to the polytune, which you can see somewhere here in between, which is quite nice because I have a direct tuner. That's what I really need. That's what I really want. So that's why I decided to put it there. It's basically in front of everything, so that the tuning that is displayed is always the true tuning of the guitar, unaffected by the drop. And the drop, that's where the signal goes next. So the signal goes from the polytune into the drop, into the MXR phaser, and from the phaser it goes into this fine Boss ES5 effects switching system. This pretty cool all analog Boss switching system features 5 independent instant return loops. And let me just show you the loops. So on loop 2 alone, I have the Lion. It's just a Lion without anything extra. So then on loop 3, there's the UAFX Ruby AUX AC30 emulator. Alright, now on loop 4, there's just a Wampler mini ego compressor. By the way, if I switch off all the loops, you can hear the direct guitar signal. And then finally on loop 5, we have the Del-Verb. The loop I didn't talk about yet is the overdrive loop, which features Autumnus and the Kotaku warmer. And without any amp, they kind of sound like that. You can combine all of the loops together in patches on different banks. So in my case, on bank 1, and we can always switch to manual mode here, we have enabled the overdrives, the Lion, and the Ego. And that's my basic distorted rhythm, and it sounds like that. So as you can see, this enables me to combine a lot of things in the patches. For example, patch number 2, my lead patch, features the overdrives, the Lion, the Del-Verb, and after the Del-Verb, there's the Ego compressor. At the end of the chain, just for some like delay repeat duck-in, right? So it sounds like that. At number 3, we have the Ruby going into the Ego and then going into the Del-Verb. And as you could hear, there's some delay, and I programmed the Del-Verb in a way that you can just switch off the delay here, so all that remains is the reverb. And in case I want to have some chorus instead, I select the chorus program on a 224, which then sounds like that. To such a sound, I may want to add a little bit of room here on the Ruby. And here we go. Something like that. Then on patch number 4, it's again the Ruby, but this time the signal goes first into the ego, and then it goes into the Ruby, and then it goes into the Del-Verb. And it sounds something like that. And here's some more of the stuff that you can do. Let's say I'm going back into patch number 3, and I want to reverb now, and I'm choosing Ruby Live mode, which kind of sounds like that. A bit of that vibrato. And then I switch into manual mode, right? Guess I could turn up the volume a little bit. And I press the 1. And now the overdrive is in. That was the drop in Octaver mode plus the MXR plus the Ruby on vibrato mode plus a bit of Del-Verb. The one thing that you can hear is that in comparison to the Lion, the Ruby doesn't have a noise gate, right? Yeah, boy, but that's how we go. Let's take the Wampler for a ride. As you can hear, totally different vibe here. Let's just go and switch the compressor off. By the way, in regards to the ES5, the moment you go out of bank mode, we're just in the normal preset again. So the overdrives have been taken out of the loop sequence, right? The other cool thing is that you can select the sequence of your loops, which means you can place loop 1 after 5 or whatsoever, and you can even make loops parallel. Here's one comparison of parallel loops. So on this one, if I go to the loop structure here, so the signal is coming in the input, then it's going into the overdrives into 1, then it's going into the compressor, and after the compressor it's going both into the Ruby and the Lion parallel, right? parallel, which means I'm using 2 amps, and after that it's going into the Del-Verb, and then it's going out to the recording and to my FR here. And this is how that sounds now. So we have both the Lion and the Ruby. For those who like it, I think it's pretty kick-ass. And again, here in manual mode, we can enable and disable all the loops. So now the delay is out. All right, I don't want to dip in further. And the other cool thing is that I can just customize my patches that way, so I can have all the sounds available at just a touch of like 2 buttons. So this is now overdrives plus Lion going into the Ego going out. But if I wanted to, just one switch here, and I'm in manual mode, and one switch there, and I've added the Del-Verb right after the compressor this time. And that's like the difference. Listen to that. Okay, and listen to that. Nothing has been turned louder. It's just that the Ego is now at the very end of the chain, and it's also compressing the lead sound. And once the direct lead sound is gone, it just releases, and then you hear the repeats. I could even go ahead and give up to, I think, 6 dB again directly on the mixer, right? Which kind of works like that. I'm going there now, it's 3 dBs of gain. So that's in case you're playing in a 2-guitar band and you just want to raise your volume a little bit. It goes up to 6 dBs. That's really loud. I hope I'm not clipping the recording. And of course you can also pull it down to a minimum of -12 if you wanted to. So yeah, that was me trying to present you my new pedalboard. It has such a lot of sonic capabilities, right? It's also full analog signal flow. And that's something I like, because you know that I tried it in my quad cortex and it just didn't sound the same. And I want to have that full amp feeling. And by the way, I'm doing the comparison. I'm comparing all the digital stuff I try out with the real thing. As you know, I still have a full tube amp here in the studio, even though I've sold most of my old amps. I had a Marshall Jubilee, can you believe that? Like an original one from '87. And I sold it for so cheap, but that's like, I don't know, 20 years ago, something like that, 15, 20 years ago. In any case, so I do compare it. In this case, I actually compared it doing the AB on the ES5, and this is the first time with the Lion. It's the first time that I couldn't say, oh, I still prefer the real tube amp. As some of you may know, the MT15 is 6L6 loaded, so it has a completely different power amp sound, right? But still, both of them, in my comparisons, I play with Murdoch tracks, I play with old tracks, and see how the guitar fits in, right, with my amp in a room sound through my FR. And this time it's actually equal. I like both the Lion and the MT15. I think both sound great. Whenever I did that in the old times, I would just keep the amp connected for a longer period of time because I preferred it so much. So kudos to you, Universal Audio. Again, your support is not that great. Your Bluetooth app is horrible. That thing is horrible. I need to mention it at some point, right? But I think all of those who already tried it out know it. So I'm quite glad that I modded my aux box so I can use the Wi-Fi app, which just runs super stable. But let's not talk about this. I thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, ask me questions if you want to. I'm there for you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Christmas. And don't forget to have, you know it, the best day ever. Van Daven out and bye.